Viewers' questions. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and today I'm just going to take 5 minutes to answer some questions some people have sent through. Apologies if the screen picture is improved. My computer crashed over the week and I've had to replace it with a new one, so if you've got a better picture of me, I apologise for that. But anyway, it's working a lot better, and I'm going to get on to the viewers' questions now. Now, one of the first ones that we got asked about was in the what's driving the current boom, and the obvious question got asked, why did I just talk about copper and nickel? Why didn't I talk about lithium? Well, one of the reasons that I really didn't get hung up on lithium is that up until very recently, there's been an oversupply of lithium in the marketplace, and it's really hard to get a chart or a price on it because lithium's, it's not really like it's a spot price. There's a lot of miners dealing direct with the battery manufacturers these days. So what's happened is, if we have a look at this one, and apparently this is in yuan, so a ton of lithium roughly goes for about $40,000 Australian a ton at the moment. But you can see over the last 5 years, this is when it ran up, when everybody was going to go green, and this is when they discovered that they had a bit of an oversupply. And then we move into COVID down here, and as you can see, it was already running down into before COVID happened. And one of the reasons for that was there was a bit of an oversupply of lithium at the time. You don't, apparently for the batteries, you don't need as much lithium as you need nickel and copper and all the other stuff. But as the viewer pointed out, that the price has significantly skyrocketed in the last few months, and the reason for that is because they've used up their supply and everybody's having to source more. So if you type lithium mines in Australia and have a quick look, there's 4 mines that are running, and there's another 4 to be put in. Now, they're back up and running now, but it should be noted that a couple of those mines were put into care and maintenance back in 2018, 2019, when this downturn happened back down here. So a couple of the Australian mines were put into care and maintenance then, and they actually, they've got a processing facility south of Perth that's going to process the lithium into the paste that they need for the batteries and then ship it out that way. They only completed phase 1. They were all gung-ho at this point here to continue on with phase 2, and then this happened and they cancelled phase 2 for that stage, and now that the price has gone back up again, I believe that they're going to do phase 2 again now. So it's going to double the capacity of the plant to make the paste, and that'll feed into the extra mines opening up. Now, those mines are Hardrock mines. I believe one of them's underground and one of them's open pit, so there are opportunities there. But like I said, compared to what they need for the copper and the nickel, and then the amount of mines that are out there, there will be a fair few lithium mines opening up, so another 4, but that's nothing compared to the copper mines and the nickel mines and the gold mines that are reopening at the moment. So that's the first of the viewers' questions. I hope that answers your question. It's not that lithium's not important, it's just there was a bit of an oversupply and now there's an undersupply of the stuff. That's why the prices bounced back. And I think that having a look at what's going on, and I tried to find a chart that went back before this, but it was a bit hard to. I think somewhere in this range is probably a fair price for it, somewhere around between the $30,000 and the $50,000 a tonne Australian, which will see those other 4 mines open up definitely. But if you have a look at what the nickel price is at the moment, and you can see the current nickel price there in US dollars, and that works out to be 28,397 Australian dollars when you convert it with the exchange rate. And again, if you have a look, we can turn this into a bigger chart. That's a 6-month one. We've turned that into a bigger chart, and if we have a look back at the chart over the last couple of years, you can see the price dropping and then coming back up again and surging, and it's back up again here now as everybody realizes the demand that batteries and the green tech's going to have, and the amount of nickel that's going to go into all that sort of stuff. So I hope that answers your question on lithium and why I didn't really include it in the what's driving the current boom. With that video, what I was trying to get at was where the majority of the jobs are going to be and where you should be chasing them. So the other question that I got asked on this video was about Rio Tinto's new pathway into mining that they advertised. And this could be a good way in for people, but you just need to have a look at the whole picture of what's going on at the moment, because it wasn't very long ago that Rio put this in Australian mining. And this is a story about how they want to make 80% of their trucks driverless or autonomous by the end of 2022. So if you're looking at a pathway into mining, you really got to ask the question, if you're trying to get on as a truck driver with Rio, how long's the job going to last? Now, if you're trying to get on as a service person to service the gear, or a fitter or something else like that, or something in the port or on the train or something like that, then it might be a good way to go in. But for my mind, this seems to be a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, and all the other companies have done it, to what's going on with the COVID mandate. The West Australian government's brought in for all mine workers. If you apply to these sort of things, just be knowing that the BHP did exactly the same thing when COVID first hit. They did a big recruitment round, and then it was nothing for 12 months except people asking, when do I start my job, or I'm in the pool, how long till I get a job? It dragged out for over 12 months, and they did another recruitment on top of it. So people did testing, they did medicals, they did interviews, they got told that they were going into the job pool to be mobilised, and they were never mobilised. And I just worry that the same thing could be happening with these sort of knee-jerk reactions to the mandate that they've had, and the people that they're going to lose, because I'm not necessarily sure, when push comes to shove, that they're going to lose that many people in the end. They will lose a few, but I don't think that they're going to lose as many people as everybody thinks at the moment. Now, the last thing that I got asked to talk about in this was the purple circle, and being in the in crowd. A lot of Hardrock underground mines definitely work with the purple circle, but the best mines that I've worked on, the purple circle's been pretty large and pretty inclusive. The mines where it's very small and at the top, those sort of mines tend not to function very well, and people end up getting moved on in a period of time. I find that, mines are a very fluid thing, especially if people aren't meeting targets. They will bring new people in, and old people go out, and people move around a fair bit in the industry. It breaks up the purple circle, but sometimes it's just best to put your head down and not worry about it, and just do the best you can in your job. Just accept to the fact that there is going to be some favoritism shown to certain people, and if you get too banged out of shape about it, then you're not going to have a very good time in your job. So it's just one of those things that it does exist and it is there, but like I said, the best mines that I've ever worked on, it's been pretty inclusive, so everybody's involved. And the ones where they just have them at the top, and everybody shit flows downhill, they're the ones that don't often run very well and have a high turnover of people. So I hope that answers your questions, and if you're looking to try and get into the mining industry, then of course check out the sponsors training, the Intro to Underground Mining course, or if you want a more complete package, then I would say the Win-Win package is the best one to go with, because they redo your resume and interview prep for you, as well as all the online training that you do through Underground Training. So I hope that information helps. And if you've got any more questions that you want answered, I'll try and do a viewer's question when they come up, and do a few of them at a time. But I hope that answers your questions on lithium and the Rio recruitment drive, and also the purple circle. Thanks.